Download the AllStar app. Make your picks for UFC fights, challenge your friends, level up and win prizes. Link in description. Get it now. It's a rough road, you know what I mean, in the UFC. And you survived and you've been around. You fought the best in two divisions, but right now, you're focused on the bantamweight division. But before we talk about that fight coming up, I want to talk about the last 2 years, 2022 and 2023. How were
Mhm.
those years for you as a fighter?
2022, I didn't have a fight. I supposed to fight Cody Garbrandt, and I had to pull out of that fight twice because I went through an adversity, an injury in my neck that I had to stop doing whatever I was doing and treat because I went to to a very painful situation, the most intense pain situation I ever felt in my entire life. Was affecting my daily life, was affecting my sleep. The pain I was feeling in my neck was actually irradiating to my arm, until my hand. So uh, uh, I was sleeping like 2, 3 hours a night for a while, and I had absolutely no strength. My posture wasn't right, so it was something that I had to stop and treat. I was booked to fight Cody Garbrandt for July on last year, and right on the beginning of the camp, I started to feel the herniation, and I knew what it was about because many years before, I I had to pull out of a fight because of that. So I said, okay, I know how it goes. I'm gonna stop, treat that because this is something serious. So I felt that I got better, and then I started to do another camp to fight him. The fight was supposed to be in October, and the camp was going very well. I was very ahead on the camp, and like 3 weeks before, uh, I had a sequence of events in training, a grappling training, and which I felt my low back. Then someone tried to do a guillotine on me on a sparring session, and I started to feel all over again and was way more intense, and I had to pull out of the fight again. I recovered, I got better. Then 2023, I had a fight against Montel Jackson, and he ended up knocking me out, and so I took a time off, to recover to see if I was gonna still be fighting because I still had the contract. So I said, okay, I'm gonna reorganize my whole life, my whole training, focus on be healthy before I do a camp, and then the rest of 2023, I started to focus on get better, focus on my health, and I felt very very good when I accepted this fight because I was ready to do a fight camp again. Not only ready, but I was feeling very good about it.
And then, before you took this fight, you had a fight booked with Alatang, right? And you had to pull out of
Yeah,
that fight as well. And was that because of lingering injuries as well?
yeah, exactly. Because of this sequence of events that was happening to me, it was like I said, I've been the road for a long time, and it's a very intense sport. You know, the moment I decided that I was gonna continue doing what I was doing, I I decided that I had to be 110%, actually 200% to do that. Was the only way that I was gonna do. So when the Alateng fight was booked, I got excited to do it, but I had I still had some healthy situations that I had to fix to do the whole camp and be good to the fight, But matchup wise was a very good matchup for me. But what I learned about the situation, pulling out of the fight and feeling the way I'm feeling now to this next fight It's not about the opponent. It's not about who is the opponent. It's about me. It's about me being in my best.
And how do you feel right now? Like, what is your best?
I feel that I was reborn. I was able to get in a training camp when I was already in a very good shape, and everything is going smooth. Is going, uh, how do I say? Is going. Everything is fresh in my head, even brain wise. I'm able to learn a bunch of new things. I feel like when I was when right when my first camp, when I got to the UFC, excited to go to the gym to train, excited to have new training partners, do new sparrings. Sometimes you have to be more focused. Uh, Actually, let me correct. We have to to enjoy the training camp without thinking about the future. So that's how I feel now. I'm really enjoying being here and doing what I'm doing.
That's great to hear. I mean, you found that again, and Victor Henry, he's the guy that you're gonna fight. What do you think of the matchup and his fighting style?
Very good matchup. It seemed that he's a nasty striker, throw a lot of strikes, and he got a good tip, good in Japanese they call maigeri, but you're not Japanese, right? You're Korean. It's like the front kick that he seemed his main weapon, and he auto throw punches. Got some wins by knockout, but I don't think he's the hardest puncher. You know, but he puts a lot of volume. He moves a lot, and but there's nothing special about his striking, and of course, not special about his grappling as well. He's a guy who it seems that he likes to he engage on fighting on the ground, but his level on the ground is okay level, nothing special. I mean, he's an MMA guy, very well rounded.
He said that you and his coach Josh Barnett, you guys have trained before in the past.
Yes, many years ago, like in
Yeah.
2006, I trained with Josh Barnett. Yeah,
Wow,
because I
that was
used
a
to
long
live there.
time.
Yeah, a long time ago. I used to live there. I used to live in California,
Yeah, you have
so
a
we
you have a
we
long
trained
history. You know what I
together.
mean? You go back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Josh
How
Barnett,
was you? Yeah.
um he actually stayed in a corner for me in a fight that I had in California in a
Hmm.
in a small promotion, a small event. He stayed in my corner. Yes.
Yeah. When you really look at it, MMA is a very small world, right?
Yeah, like in the level that we are, we always know people that knows the other person. Like Josh Barnett trains him. Uh, but here at American Top Team, he's been here. Henry been here before, and he also fought guys from here. He fought Tony Gravely. He fought the Japanese guy Yuki Montoya, and he trained with a few coaches here. So people knows him. I actually believe that I have more information about him here than Josh Barnett can give him, because it was a long time ago that I trained with Josh Barnett. And actually the information is is irrelevant. He knows what I'm gonna try to do. I know what he's gonna try to do, and it's all about being sharp to do and beat him. You know, makes no difference.
And his last fight, he got hit in the balls. You know what I mean? It was pretty bad, right? Did you see that? And have you ever been? What's the worst you've been hitting the balls? Because I think everybody's been hitting the balls that trains.
The worst was when I had no cup. I was doing a Muay Thai session. The guy knew me in the nuts, and I had no cup. You know, is something that I will never wish to nobody. Well, that fight against he was fighting. What's the guy's name? He was fighting Javid. Yeah, yeah. I was watching the fight. I think, and it was on the very beginning of the fight. The Bashar guy was Javid was trying to do what he does, push the guy against the clinch, and then that incident happened.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, you know what I mean? But yeah, he's coming back from that, and you being an America top team, I did see a photo of you, Buchecha, Damian Maya, and Panto. That's a hell of a crew to be in. You
Yeah,
know, it's
only champions being around the champions.
yeah, that's right, that's right. Have you been training a lot with Pantoja?
Yeah, yeah, we did a training session together. Yeah, we had a wrestling session together. He's in a fight camp too. He has his training partners, but he's a very nice guy to be around. Good vibe, good energy.
And who are your guys, the guys that are helping you out to prepare for Victor Henry?
I have been training with Mike Brown a lot. Gabriel de Oliveira, who is a boxing coach. I also train with Steve Bruno, who also uh, train Victor Henry. And I train a little bit with his opponents, with Yuki Montoya, Tony Gravely, Adriano Moraes is another guy who we always train together too, and a bunch of other guys who are here who are gonna be famous very soon. It's, young guys who who's looking to go up in their career.
I was looking at the bantamweight records, right? And one record that sticks out that you can break is the submission record for bantamweight. I think you and Faber are tied.
Yeah,
So if you get a submission, you break the record. That's a do you does that ever have you heard about this or and what do you think of it?
yeah, yeah. I definitely heard about that. That's my main accomplish. That's my main goal in
Mm-hmm.
MMA career. More important for me to have a belt or anything because I came from a traditional jiu-jitsu background. And when I started jiu-jitsu, when I was very young in the 90s, was not about jiu-jitsu competition, being a world champion or things like that, things that we are really focused. To train jiu-jitsu at that time is for eventually fight in a no holds bar, the Vale Tudo, which
Yeah.
which made the transition to be MMA. But the main goal was for that. If you wanted to be a professional jiu-jitsu fighter, that was the main goal. So that was the thing for me back then. So have the submission record in one division of the UFC is a huge accomplishment for me.
No, without a doubt, is a massive accomplishment for anybody. You know what I mean? And like you said, you come from the jujitsu background, the Valley Tudo days. One last question:
Hmm.
O'Malley versus Marab. I think that's gonna fight. That's the fight that should be happening for the title. What do you think of that matchup? Because there's Marab heavy grappler, and then O'Malley, without a doubt he's a striker, but he does have a decent ground game. I think.
Well, I think O'Malley got a little advantage on that one because in a 5 round fight, he gonna be able to hit Merab with some striking, with Merab coming forward and looking for the takedown or something. I think O'Malley got advantage on that one. I think he got more chances. Or the thing is, Omar is a dangerous fighter, and Merab is a guy who does very good in scramble situations, scramble positions when he's able to do uh, impose his cardio and his takedowns. But So the question will be if he's gonna be able to do that for 5 rounds against a guy like O'Malley who hits pretty hard, and also he's able to. He has a very good timing. So I believe that O'Malley eventually gonna hit Merab. The other thing is that Merab, whenever he can is able to print his pace, he does very good. But if you watch his fights, he gives a lot of openings, and with O'Malley that will be very dangerous. I mean, we saw the Aljamain and O'Malley fight,
Yeah.
and Aljamain he was able to avoid Aljamain takedown, but I think this fight is not about avoiding takedown. I think Merab eventually gonna take the guy down. You know, I think he's gonna be able to. But I think in 5 rounds, O'Malley also eventually gonna be able to hit him with a very good strike and end the fight,
Mm.
especially with the size difference, the height difference.
Yeah, it's an interesting fight, but you
Very
know what?
interesting.
April April 27th, UFC Fight Night in Las Vegas. Hani, you're back in action. I hope we see you at least 2 or 3 times this year. You know, I like seeing you step in there. You know, you've faced the best of the best, like I said earlier, and you know, it's always good to see the guys that have been around. You know, what I mean, continue to have success.
Thank you. Appreciate. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the interview. I wanna say hi to everyone in Korea there.